What is up and is going on, guys? Simpzy here and welcome back to another episode of my FIFA 14 QPR career mode season 2. And guys, this is the second last episode of season 2. In today's episode we have 3 matches. The first of which is against Tottenham Hotspur, then we have a league match against Liverpool, and then later on the episode, yes, we have the final of the FA Cup against Stoke City. Now, indirectly, I didn't give a shit about the FA Cup or Capital One, and we managed to win the Capital One Cup final and even get to the final. Mind you, we did have a pretty easy run. Hull City, Everton, and then we smashed Liverpool 4-2. So, and then Arsenal ended up winning 3-0. Menez scoring a fantastic hat-trick. But we really need to get as many points from now until the end of the season and to try get that top 4 spot and try get Champions League football. That's what my main objective is. But last time, guys, we actually versed Stoke City in, I can't remember if it was Capital One or FA. Same shit, really. And we actually got to the semi-finals and we actually lost to Stoke City. So it was very, very disappointing. But we do have a match here against Tottenham Hotspur. Immobile, having one of the first chances of the match, managed to hit the post. But Sergio Aguero has been let fly twice and having some first shots that were both off target. But we're versing Tottenham Hotspur at home. We should come hopefully off with a win. But guys, before I get into it, I just want to quickly mention the last episode. In the last episode, we ended up winning 2-1 over Everton. Immobile and Musacchio both picking up 1 goal each, and Junior Hoilett picking up the man of the match. Then later on the episode, we had a match against Wigan Athletic. Now, Wigan Athletic are at the bottom of the Barclays Premier League table and look very likely, along with Crystal Palace, to get relegated. So I did do a massive youth injection into the squad and made Lopez the cam. I did put Menez and Trinilio up on the left and right striker position. I bought Bentalab on the centre defensive mid, even though Traore and Phillips are more of a bench and reserve sort of player. I gave them a bit of a role. And we ended up winning 2-1 in that match. Sadly, none of the young guns actually scored. It was actually Musacchio and Gomez. Musacchio picking up 2 goals in that episode and the man of the match for the match against Wigan. So Musacchio picked up 2 goals in that episode. He was the man. But Tottenham Hotspur do manage to start off the scoring with Roberto Soldado, and it was pretty obvious. It's very similar. Like, we've got Roberto Soldado and Gomez up front. They have 2 very, very good strikers playing for them, and it's a very different Tottenham Hotspur to real life, to be quite honest. But, yeah, unfortunately we end up losing 1-0 to Tottenham, which, like I said, we need to get as many points from here until the end of the season. Losing 1-0 against Tottenham is a bad result, seeing as we had so many shots. 11 shots, that's just ridiculous, and that has bumped us down to second place. But, even the top 4, there's not many, top 4 now, realistically. There's not many points between us. So it's going to be very interesting to see how the season ends up. But there are only 4 more matches left in this season. Liverpool, then we verse Stoke in the final, Chelsea, and then Blackburn. Now I'm going to show you the fixtures to see who's playing who as well. So, like I said, it's going to be very interesting to see how it all ends up. So you're most welcome to go back and pause and have a look at the fixtures to see if, I don't know, say you think Chelsea's going to win the title. You might want to see where they have. But we do have a match against Liverpool standings. We did lose 1-0 to Spurs. We were coming at it hard from the get-go and trying to get us an early goal there. Immobile being set through on goal, manages to dispossess the Liverpool goal, the defense line. And Immobile, he hasn't had that. I think he's only had like 1 uncontested shot, like as in it turned into a goal. I swear, every time I've lobbed a through ball, he has muscled out the defender. And he manages to score there. Very much the same against Manchester City and what was the other one? It might have been against Wigan. I can't quite remember off the top of my head. I'm sorry. I really should research this more when I try to, or research more when I try to quote stuff. But 1-0 up against Liverpool is a good result so far. Immobile comes through and tries to hit it on the volley to try and make something spectacular of it. But 1-0 up against Liverpool is better than what we were doing at Spurs, that's without a doubt. But Immobile there manages to keep it back in play, surprisingly. And we're going to work up from the midfield here. Sebastian Rode, a very underrated player in my opinion. If you haven't picked him up in a career mode, especially if you can pick him up for a free contract in that first year, I highly recommend, because he's been such a solid centre defensive mid, and he does have the capable qualities. He very much reminds me of a Bastian Schweinsteiger. I don't know why I said that with an accent, but Bastian Schweinsteiger. But we do manage to pick up another goal here against Liverpool in pretty early succession. It was Daniel Agger. Now, who would have thought that Daniel Agger would have been scoring against his former club? Manages to hit it on the left. And a fantastic goal. Daniel Agger's been picking up a lot of goals in the defensive line, along with Musacchio. My defenders actually pick up a lot of goals. But Sergio Aguero there manages to find Danny Welbeck, and Danny Welbeck makes it 3-0. Even though he is playing on a winger, he can still pick up a lot of fantastic goals. And that was a really good one there. Nice piece of play, giving him so much room. Cool, calmed, and composed. And I don't know if that was Flanagan or who was behind him, tracking back him. It could have been Kelly. I don't think it was. Kelly's just a little bit too tall. But fantastic strike there. And I'm really happy to see that Daniel Agger actually had a shot on target. It wasn't a header. So 3-0 against Liverpool really regains that top 4 hope, which I think it'll be interesting to see where I end up. But guys, we have the big match of this episode. We have the FA Cup final against Stoke City. Arguably an easier opponent compared to when we versed Arsenal, but very much in the same boat. We had a very easy cup run in the FA Cup. 1-0 over Man United's probably not that much, but everyone else, yeah, we did quite well. But in saying that, we did beat Spurs in the qualifiers, and then we lost to them 1-0 in this match. So I'm just being a hypocrite, as always, in these episodes, contradicting, not so much hypocrite, contradicting myself every 5 seconds, but this is it, guys. Hopefully we can score before the 90 minutes, and if not, I'm sure Menez will come off the bench and hopefully try regain something for us. But if we do lose this match, I'm still happy to get a cup run. We did win the Capital One. And like I said, guys, from the very get-go, Champions League football is our main objective. But guys, Immobile finds Diego and then flicks it over to Danny Welbeck on the volley. But Begovic manages to keep it clear, falls short to Junior Hoilett. And he sends it clear as well. Sebastian Rode on the ball. And I don't know really what happened there. But we do manage to send Junior Hoilett, who manages to start off the scoring in the 15-minute. Fantastic strike by the Canadian. And he's actually one of the couple of first-team players that is actually formerly was a first-team player in the Championship in our first season. And now has come into our second season. Is in a first-team spot, because obviously... Oh, Danny Welbeck. I forget about Danny Welbeck. And I do forget about Young. And my right back. Starts with O. I can't remember his name. But nevertheless, 1-0 up at Wembley Stadium. Sergio Aguero there, the Argentinian, pounding for the ball. Cuts back in, tries to find Immobile. And he looked like he got into the correct position, but he didn't manage to completely finish the shot there. But Sergio Aguero in the 36th minute makes it 2-0. Immobile with an amazing through ball past the Stoke City defence. And he only takes one bobble at the shot and then hits it on the bounce. Sergio Aguero, what a fantastic player. And I actually prefer him than Cavani, even though Cavani really did start us off with a fantastic season before Chelsea managed to buy him off for 103 million, which is absolutely ridiculous. But Sebastian Rode on the ball finds Diego, the 30-year-old Brazilian. Look at this. Young's pushing up on the pitch, and he manages to cut back on his right and nearly picks up a goal for himself. He's actually picked up one goal in the Premier League. He actually did that cut back in and hit it pretty well with his right. But Rode there with a fantastic header. It's a 3-on-2 opportunity. Junior Hoilett picks up another goal. What a fantastic player he has been. And yeah, like surprisingly, I didn't think he would be actually a good player. I thought he'd be in the same boat as Traore and Phillips, kind of the lower, coming off the bench sort of midfielder. But he's such a fantastic player. Picked up 2 goals in this episode, and he's not accustomed to starting off the scoring in the first match. 3-0, Begovic is being punished, unfortunately. But Immobile tries to send one through to Sergio Aguero, and Sergio Aguero managed to get the block up into it, cuts back inside on his right. And what a fantastic finesse for the Argentinian. Sergio Aguero's picked up 2 goals in this match, and Hoilett has picked up 2 as well. Look at that deflection, and then he just manages to hit it on the pace back from that pass. But just, I love how he cuts back inside, and the finesse was absolutely immaculate. 4-0 against Stoke City, and this is turning into a very, very different final compared to the Arsenal one, where we left it to the dying hours of extra time for Menez to score a hat-trick. But Sergio Aguero, what a fantastic player. And guys, let me know in the comment section down below, who do you prefer as a player in this career mode, Sergio Aguero or Cavani? Let me know in the comments below. But Diego's there trying to get a goal for Immobile, and a KSI-like finish, a KSI-like through ball there. But unfortunately, Immobile couldn't get to the finish. We did bring on Gomez and Menez to try pick up some consolation goals for the lads. But Gomez running down the wing, trying to find his mate Gomez. But unfortunately, the Stoke City defense managed to clear it quite well. But we managed to clear it quite well straight back to Danny Welbeck. And we're on the attack again. Menez is trying to find Hoilett for the hat-trick. But Hoilett hits the deck and unfortunately isn't able to pick up his hat-trick. Traore on the ball. He gets the header back to Danny Welbeck. It's going back and forth. Gomez with the shot on target, but just goes wide. We're going to have a corner kick here in the 80th minute to try get another goal to the tally, and who would have thought? The main man, Menez, who always loves to score in a final. That's his 4th final goal over all competitions. Obviously, we've only had 2, but that's an interesting stat. 5-0 against Stoke. And now we have really found our retribution, our fucking revenge over Stoke City, who knocked us out in Season 2. And a nice timed little, nice little high kick. And we end up beating Stoke City in the FA Cup final. Junior Hoilett picking up 2 goals. Sergio Aguero picking up 2 goals. And Menez sweetening the finish and the deal, picking up 1 for himself. So, we have won the FA Cup and the Capital One Cup in our first season promoted back into the Premier League. How fantastic is that, guys? I am over the moon, and I'm even more happy to think that I didn't give a fuck. I didn't say, yeah, we win, but when you think about it, winning, that is just awesome. Obviously, the top 4 teams, I feel like there's a big dividing class between the top 4 teams and the mid-table teams. Obviously, they're focusing on European football, and we didn't. We came out of nowhere. We arguably have, we can match the top 4 Premier League spots because we have the squad depth from those pre-contracts, and we got fucking Sergio Aguero, Immobile, Diego. This is a very, very different QPR. So I really do apologise, guys, if when you're watching this career mode you were wanting a realistic one. I do understand people play and enjoy career mode in their own way, but to be honest, I'm having so much fun with the way this career mode is going, even though it's not realistic. I'm having so much fun, and I hope you guys are as well, watching the videos and giving feedback as well. So we ended up winning the Capital One Cup and the FA Cup in our first fucking season, which is absolutely incredible. But like I said, a majority of the top 4 clubs that were winning it last year have Champions League football. But guys, we're coming to the end of the episode. Thank you very much for watching if you watched all the way through. I really do appreciate it. Make sure to leave a like on this video to support my channel. And make sure to go out and have a fantastic rest of your day. Thanks a lot, guys. Goodbye.